Yes, yes, yes. You are in tune to Boxing Talk with Rafi and Ask Rick. And this is an Ask Rick special. Why is it special? Well, you're about to find out. Okay, we are live. And without much further ado, let me drop that down and let me bring in the man himself, Rick Glazer. Rick, how do you do?
Raf, how are you? Hello, all boxing enthusiasts in the UK and around the world, in America, wherever you are. We're going to have a great 2-hour show today. I'm very excited about the show today. I think we've got a lot to talk about. And you'll always get the same candid, direct, shot right in the face answers that I always give. So, Ralph, you got to speed your pace up. 2 weeks ago, you were a little on the slow side. You were so slow. The computer, the signal would work last week on you.
Rick Glazer, you gotta hand it to the guy. Well, you know what it is. Well, anyway, that's a long story. We just gotta take it at a pace where the people can actually absorb the stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's a question of tempo, but it's all good in the hood. Let's get the screen looking proper. Okay, that's better. That's looking good. Okay, so you are in tune to Ask Rick. And joining us early doors is the Heinrich Schmitz. I don't know. Do we go into the announcement now or do we do it later? It's up to you. Rick. How do you want to do it?
We'll do it a little bit when we got the boards filling up with people.
Yeah,
how's that?
I agree. I think that's the proper way to do it. How are we gonna start this thing? We're boom. There's so many places to go. Rick, where do you want to start? Because I mean, what you want to start with last week's card?
Let's start with the Josh Taylor fight with Kong Song. Kong Song got hit over the head on the body real quick and went out like a light with one punch. Was rolling around. I mean, I didn't even know that was a human being. All that funny shit that was going on. I never seen him like that before. One singular body shot. I mean, that was ridiculous. The guy, I could have taken a better body shot than that. I'm 62. Come on. Please. The guy was rolling around. I mean, I didn't know what that was. I mean, I don't know. It was like he come in all excited, the fighter, and he went out with a whip, like a whip.
Went out with a whimper.
Terrible.
But okay. So since we mentioned that, we might as well go into the Bob Arum thing. Bob Arum had a response to
that. Bob Arum's right. So Bob Arum basically said that, hey, this is another dumb mandatory. He's right. What they should do is when you have two unknown fighters fighting from countries that are not boxing rich. You have to do an eliminator, and then they should have to do a second eliminator with a more well-known fighter, like a well-known Brit or an American or somebody that's well-known, Australian. There's no way to gauge how bad those fighters were, those two schmucks, when they fought the eliminator, because they were both like unknown quantities. So, unknown qualities. So you look what we had. We had a mess. I mean, who wants to pay millions of dollars rights fees for something like that? And the guy goes out in the whimper in seconds. First time he got hit to the hip, out he went. Unbelievable. I mean, it was not good. It was not a good look for anybody. I can't blame the promotion. I can't blame Bob Arum. I can't blame ESPN. Yeah, okay. There's nobody to blame, but the IBF has to tighten up their rules for their mandatories. And they've got to fight. Let them fight somebody in their own region for the first eliminator, and then that winner fight to legitimize them to a certain degree, and then have them fight a well-known established fighter from the UK, from the United States, from Canada, from Australia, that people know who he is already. So we can judge. If he beats a guy that we know is a decent quality fighter, then okay. What did we prove? We had an eliminator against two putzes, and we got a schmuck, and we ended up with the winning schmuck. I mean, that's not good. That was not a good look for anybody. One punch and it was over with. A body shot him all day. It wasn't like he got hit in the chops. I went to sleep. He was rolling around. He was doing all kinds of shit I'd never seen before. I've been watching boxing my whole life. Thousands of fights a year. I never seen shit like that before. Rolling over his side, grabbing himself. And he tried to grab his Johnson, but he made it was so small and missed.
OMG. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, Bob Arum sums it up. I mean, you've got to have a system whereby the mandatories are worthy. They're worthy mandatories. So I have to agree with Bob Arum on that. So okay, let's stay in the vein of past fights that happened just this past weekend, and let's talk about Breedis versus Dorticus.
Well, it was a typical puncher versus a guy who's a puncher versus a guy who's a good puncher and a better boxer, and the better boxer won. It was a very good fight. It wasn't as good a fight as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a little better than that, just because both guys have firepower. But this is how I described that fight. Breedis deserved to win, and Dorticus Coast deserved to lose, and that's exactly what happened. The judges got it right.
Yes. Okay. So, Breedis versus Dorticus, and Breedis is talking about moving up to heavyweight. What your take on that, Rick?
He may be able to do something at heavyweight. I don't think he's going to become heavyweight champion of the world, but I think he can do something. I think he's a very, very good cruiserweight. Not just being a champ, but he is really a good fighter, as is like Usyk is, and those guys do transform into good heavyweights. Whether he can win a title, I don't know, but he'll make a lot more money losing in the heavyweight division than he will winning in the cruiserweight division. How's that?
Yes. Makes sense. It makes economic sense. That's why a lot of these guys they want to go up, they want to move up to heavyweight, because obviously the money's a lot better at heavyweight. Cruiserweight is a Cinderella. Why is cruiserweight a Cinderella division? Why is it not sexy? Rick Glazer.
You know what? If we had the answers, it would be figured out. We don't have the answers. Nobody does. What do I really think? It started late in 1978, and it's not a heavyweight. It's not a light heavyweight. It's a bastard division. The super middleweight started in that same era, and the super middleweights are hotter than a firecracker. But don't forget, there's more 68-pound people that are fighters than they are 200-pound fighters. So that stands to reason. But the 68-pound division is very popular. They started at the same time as the cruiserweight. The cruiserweight just never took off for some reason or another.
Yeah, I guess you just for whatever reason, it's just not a sexy division.
It's so unsexy that Johnny Nelson defended the title 18 times.
Yeah,
and he was a legitimate fighter. And a diehard friend of mine, boxing fan, and we were talking about the fight, about the best cruiserweight. So, well, you got to put Thompson and what's his name, Johnny Nelson in there. He says, who the hell's that? You never heard of it. This guy's a real boxing fan.
Wow.
So that's not a good sign.
That is a terrible sign. That's a terrible sign. Johnny Nelson beat a friend of mine. Actually, there's a funny story. Well, is it funny? It's not really funny at all. It's the amount of people that Johnny Nelson has fought that have gone on to. Am I even going to say it? I'm not going to say it. But I am going to say it. It's the amount of people that Johnny Nelson has fought that when you look years later, what's happened to them? A lot of them ended up. Gonna have to say it, dead under strange circumstances. Suicides, falling off this bridge, falling off that. It's absolute madness. I think there's about 8 or more of his ex-opponents who have ended up perishing under strange circumstances. Nothing to do with Johnny Nelson, I hasten to add. Rick Glazer, madness.
Yeah, it's that's what I call, defying odds and shit happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all coincidental. It's
All
it's like a woman I know. She was married 4 times. All 4 of her husbands dropped dead at an early age. All different circumstances.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? One drowned in a pool. One got killed at work in an accident. One had a heart attack. One had cancer, but all early in life. 4 guys she went through.
Wow.
I called her the Black Widow, and she got mad at me.
Hey, the truth is the truth. The truth is the truth. Okay. So remember.
She got to be victim number 5. She wanted to go out with me. I said, yeah, you're mine.
Madness. I did once date a girl, if we're talking about exes, Rick. I did once date a girl who let's not even say that. Let's just say that one of her ex-partners ended up not breathing because of her. But anyway, let's not go there. Let's not go there. Okay, we're just spitting facts, folks. We're just spitting facts, real life. Okay, let's take a moment and go into the chat. Remember, folks, you are in tune to Ask Rick on Boxing Talk with Rafi. Okay, and this is the show where you get to speak to Rick Glazer. There's a special announcement coming up, folks. So stay tuned. Big announcement. So don't touch that dial. Okay. So yeah, this is where you get your chance to ask Rick. Who is Rick Glazer? Well, if you didn't know, you're about to know. Well, you should know by now. But if you're a newcomer, Rick Glazer is an industry insider. Matchmaker. Well, doesn't do so much matchmaking now, but
agent, broker, and consultant.
Exactly. And we're going to go a little bit deeper into that because, like I said, we've got a big announcement coming up shortly. So stay tuned. And thank you to everybody's coming. Let's go into the chat, see if we got our first question from the chat yet. We got Heinrich Schmitz from Germany, Deutschland. We got the Shiz Biz, big up Rafi, big up Rick. The Philip Carl Roberts is in the building. It was a good body shot. Yeah, it looked kind of. Yeah, it was a good body shot. I know a body shot.
Wait, hold on. A good body shot. Guy goes down. He's down for 7-8 seconds. He gets up. He doesn't roll around, do all kinds of weird shit. I mean, come on now. I mean, come on. The guy looked like he was holding his stomach like he was stabbed, for Christ's sakes. Come on now.
I tell you a body shot we're going to talk about shortly, but not just yet. We're going to get into that other body shot shortly. At least with Josh Taylor, he wanged it in. He proper wanged it in. He turned into that shot. But the other body shot, which we're not going to talk about, we're actually going to show it, whether YouTube like it or not. Should we show it? I'll be very careful.
Of course. I agree. I saw what you saw.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that in a second. We've got the Cal L in the building. Salute Rafi. Salute Rick. Salute the Combat Radio. Absolutely. Okay, we got the big boys boxing up here in the building. Why am I talking like one of those people who, announce the race horsing? Oh, man, coming up and on. Big boys boxing coming up on the inside.
Big boys Johnson with the small Johnson. We got it. Come on now.
Come on now, Rick. Behave. Okay, Rick. Do you think Alan Babbitt can blow out Nail Kennedy in one round? Yeah.
Kennedy's awful. I mean, he's awful. So 1 or 2 rounds, absolutely. It ain't going too far. If it gets into the second, that just shows me how inept Babbitt is, because the other guy's horrible.
Yes. She's busy. I'm going to come to your question shortly when we get on that topic, but it's all good. Keep your questions coming in. Marla is up in the building. Okay, so what's the next thing? We're going to go have a look at the Showtime PBC card. Yeah, talk about it, Rick. Showtime PBC.
It was a artistic success and a financial failure. There's no way they had to lose a fortune. I don't know what the pay-per-view numbers are, but they'll lie about them. But it did under 100. I guarantee that. Um, fights were good. I would say all the fights were good. They weren't bad. Um, I thought some of the scores were a little wrong. I thought that the bright guys won, but I thought some of the scores were way too wide.
Yeah.
I thought the Jamal Charlo, which is the 160, he looked good in winning the decision over Dovinchenko, and it was a good fight. You know, it was competitive. Dovinchenko was a step behind all night and one punch short all night, but he was in there swinging. It was good fight.
Yeah.
All the fights were good. The only, the one blowout fight, which was Raul Casimero. He destroyed. I don't know, the guy. Forget it, Duke Makaya, forgettable guy. I already forgot him. See that? He knocked a guy in and out in 3 rounds. A Filipino knocked a guy in and out in 3 rounds. For the defending the WBO bantamweight title, it was a good show. Going to the Jamel Charlo fight with a 154 unified fight against Jerson Rosario. I saw a punch that hit an elbow and slid into his stomach, and jab, and all of a sudden he was down, out, rolling around, having convulsions. I think what happened was he was hurt in the previous round. He didn't want to quit on his stool. He went out there. He had nothing left, and he had no resolve. I don't know where the convulsions came in. I had never seen that all these years, these convulsions.
Convulsion.
I mean, what happened? Was it bad food and COVID combined? I mean, what caused that? I mean, that was bad. I mean, I hate to laugh because the toughest thing in the world is to take your shirt off and get in a boxing ring in front of millions of people. Don't get me wrong; it's not easy. But when a guy's like literally having convulsions on the canvas from a body shot, and he's a world champion, he had 2 titles to boot. Something's wrong. Something doesn't pass the smell test with that one.
Something's very wrong. I've never seen the convulsions before. I've never seen the convulsions. I agree with you. I think he was hurt from the previous round.
Yeah.
But I have to say, Rick, he was hurt from the previous round. He wasn't looking. He wasn't looking. I can't blame it on him not being optimal. I can't do that. He got beat. Bottom line.
Yeah, but the body shot that actually put him down where he stayed down.
Yeah.
Was a long jab to the body to hit the elbow first and then glazed into the body and all kinds of wacky all kinds of wacky shit started happening. I mean,
it's mad. I mean,
it was a funny thing when I was watching it. I thought something was wrong with the team. I thought there was something wrong with the TV because it didn't make any sense to me. It wasn't the TV.
I was watching it with the guy. I was watching it with Saif Bud, a friend now from America, and he was a few seconds. He was 30 seconds ahead of me, and he was saying, "Oh, ish, expletive after." And I said, "What the hell's going on? Are you being held up? I know it's America. I don't know. Is there an armed robbery in progress?" And then 30 seconds later, I was going, ish. When I saw the man convulsing like the time when when I was small and my goldfish, I knocked over the cabinet, the goldfish bowl smashed on the floor, and that was Rosario there. It was Rosario. His name was Freddie, but it could have been Rosario. Let's take a look at. OMG.
A long step. Look.
I'm sorry. That no way, no how was that a killer body shot. That wasn't a killer body shot. That was no killer. That was That was a standard, basic jab. It was no killer shot. That was no kill shot.
Nope, sure wasn't. It was a kill. It was a buzz kill shot.
OMG. OMG. Okay, let's get back into the chat. Any news on the PPV and the pay-per-view numbers from the PBC? Not yet.
It did. I'm confident it did between 70 and 100,000 homes. I don't think it did more than 100. It was a huge financial loser. The Charlo's getting, I think somebody said $8 million between the two of them, $4 million apiece. I mean, crazy numbers, ridiculous. I don't know where they dream up these boxcar numbers, but it was a huge financial loser. So, what can I say?
Are those numbers real? Did they really get four apiece?
Yeah, something like that. Somebody said 3, 4. Don't matter. It doesn't. If they got $1 million apiece, it still lost a fortune. Doesn't matter.
But surely the show must have made that if they're going to get paid that.
No, they did. If they did 100,000 homes at $75 at $80 a piece, that's $40 back to the promotion. That's $4 million. They had 6 big fights. They had all kinds of COVID costs, expenses, other travel expenses, advertising, insurance. I mean, it's just the staff. They lost a fortune, even if they were only paid $1 million. Well, you know one thing, Jerson Ravello got more than $1 million, and I know what's his name got millions. Sergey Dovchenko, I heard $2.5 million from a good source. So the show lost millions.
So
millions.
Who pays that? Who pays the shortfall?
I don't know. Oh, PBC, unless they got a guarantee, they had to take a big hit, and Showtime had to take a hit. I would imagine because they probably guaranteed them 200,000 homes, and then so they have to take a hit on that now. So it was, like I said, it was a great show. It was an artistic success and a financial bloodbath. That's what it was.
Yeah. What's the idea? What was up with the intermission?
Well, they're trying to build the Charlos into pay-per-view attractions, and I don't see where the attraction is. I just don't. I don't see the following. You know what I mean? Nobody ever calls me up and says, "Oh, I can't wait till the Charlos fight again." When are they fighting again, Rick? Tell me. Nobody ever says that. Nobody says that about Dimitri Andrade. So I mean, certain guys just don't move the needle. I mean, those 3 guys don't move the needle, not at all. Mikey Garcia, those kind of guys, he'll move the needle. Some of those guys move the needle, some of them don't. The Charlo brothers just haven't moved the needle at all. So,
that's interesting. So, in that vein, continuing in that vein, the PBC, the Showtime card, the PBC. Jamel, he's got 3 belts now. 1 belt short of unified champion, lineal. How good is he? How good is Jamel? I mean, he impressed me.
He's good, but he's not great. I mean, he's good. He knows what he's doing. He's competent. He's a competent pro. He's big, strong, but he does a lot of things wrong. He starts and stops too much. He doesn't use angles. He'll move his feet, but won't use the angles to punch. No flow, no rhythm and flow. His brother's got, the 160. He's got rhythm and flow. This guy has no rhythm and flow. Everything's start and stop. Everything's start and stop.
Thank you very, very much, because I was trying to rationalize and trying to analyze and trying to deconstruct why I give them their props. I give them their props, but I'm not high. I'm not high on them. And I think one of the reasons is, for me, there is a lack of fluidity.
Well, especially the 154. 60's got fluid. He's fluid. The 54 is awful. He's got no fluid at all. He's not fluid at all. He got no rhythm at all. Now, Ralph, that show happened Saturday night. It's Wednesday night. I mean, Raf, you could have called me up in between. You got my number and said, Rip, what about the Charlotte thing you like? You wouldn't have been mystified for the last 3 days, Raf. I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned.
Yeah. So there's a lack of fluidity. Well, there's a lack of artist. Well, listen, both of them are great fighters. Both of them are at the top of their division, so there's no question about that. I still have reservations, and my reservations concern the fluidity. You say it's just the little one. I say it's both, because there's anyway. I know what I like to see, and I don't see it in the Charlos. I give them their props. They're at the top of their division. The Jamel is only 1 belt shy of unified. I'm not taking anything away from them, but from a stylistic point of view, they leave me wanting more. And I think it's the artistic, it's the craft. They're the top of they're the top. They're hard hitters. They're big. They're strong. They're doing what they're supposed to do. But some fighters, you watch them and you can smile. You can smile when you're watching them. You say, "You see that? You see that there? Did you see that? Did you see that double jab? Did you see the fade? Did you see how he slipped away and came up with the uppercut?" It's those kind of things, those kind of little things, those little touches, which for me, it's a missing ingredient with the Charlos. Not taking anything away from them, the top of their division, but stylistically, I don't know. So where does Jamal, the big one, where does the middleweight go? Where does Jamal go next?
Back home to Houston?
Yeah.
Maybe he's going to buy another Lamborghini and a Gucci purse. I mean, everybody needs a Lamborghini and a Gucci purse, don't they?
Hey, I'll take the Lamborghini, the Gucci purse. Well, we can just, I don't know. Give that to the lady. Jamel. It's Teixeira. He's looking at Teixeira, but Teixeira has got a mandatory situation going on. Yeah, so he's not immediately available. I think that's the situation, is it not?
I don't know. You know, these guys are these guys just aren't draws. I don't see them as draws. I don't think people are going to get excited on pay-per-view and say, "Oh, I can't wait to watch the Charlos and pay $80 to watch them." Well, we'll see when the numbers come back. And if they never come back, we know it was bad. And if they do come back and it's 130 or 40,000, we know they lied.
Who wins? Jamel or Teixeira? Who wins? Who wins in that fight?
Teixeira's got a bad style because he's left-handed and he's real tall and he fights gangly. But Jamel will find him, and he's much stronger, Jamel, and he'll eventually stop him later. But early on, Patrick Teixeira will win some rounds. I could see him be ahead 4-1 and get stopped in 4-1 in rounds and get stopped in the 6th. I could see that, something like that.
Yeah, when Jamel catches up to him. Okay, Who we're looking at? So, what's his name? Eubank Jr. versus Jamal.
It's possible. It's a good fight. I think that Jamal is too big and too strong for him, but it's a good fight. Listen, I don't know what happens when somebody real hits this guy in the chin, Charlo. Jamal. I mean, Eubanks can punch, and he might get tagged in the chin himself. So, it could be one of those fights. They could both be in the deck one time apiece. One of those, at least one time apiece. See what happens.
So Jamal looks like really, if he wants another belt, it looks like he's gonna have to cross the road. He's gonna have to go over to one of those zone guys. Andrade.
That's not how Heyman operates. So Al Hammond operates. So I doubt that'll happen. I don't see it.
Highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. Okay. So let's move on. Let's get into the chat. See what questions are coming in the chat. We got Marla up in the building. Who else we got? What about Merkadov versus Keane? Is that another 1-round blowout?
Well, they're not fighting. They're not fighting each other next. Eventually, they'll probably do that fight, maybe. And yeah, it isn't lasting long. 1-2 rounds. That's all.
Yeah. Yes.
They got to show up there. The big Makadev guy is fighting Dylan Carmen on October 10th. I don't even know if Simon Keen's on the show. I'm not sure if he is. I know David Lemieux's on the show. No crowd allowed. It's on Canadian TV. They're going to lose a fortune. It's a shame. But they got to keep their guys busy.
Yes, 100%. What is this here? So Ramirez stands no chance versus Josh Taylor. Not a shot in hell, according to Wizard Sleeves.
He's too slow, and he's right in front of you. The other guy moves too fast, pivots too well, very nimble, fast-handed. No, I don't think Ramirez wins either. I mean, could Ramirez hit him on the chin? Yeah. But it doesn't. Two A fighters fighting like that, it doesn't figure to happen.
Okay.
It's going to be a distance fight.
Okay. So you got winning. You got winning for that one.
I got Taylor winning.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just mute that mic there. I'm getting a bit of feedback. Okay. So, what's this here? I'm good. Any news on Parker and Farr? I haven't heard any news. On Parker and Farr. Still seems up in the air. Nothing confirmed with that one whatsoever. Philip Carl Roberts says that jab would have stopped any fight. Surely you jest. Let me just mute that there. Jamel was looking good. He was looking good. Where are we? AJ will stick the bill to Showtime. AJ will stick the bill to Showtime. What do you mean? Stick the bill to Showtime?
Al Heyman. Al will stick the bill to Showtime.
Oh.
Yeah, but they can only do so much. That Steven Espinosa, the Showtime guy that runs the Showtime boxing, his job will be, if they start doing that shit, his job will be on the line. So I don't think he wants to do that.
Uh-oh. Okay, so let's move on. As we move on, I think Triple G versus Jamal Charlo could create some interest. Rick Glazer.
Oh, there's no question. Come on. There's more interest in Jamal Charlo, dollar for dollar, with GGG than there would be Canelo and GGG, dollar for dollar. So, I agree. I think that's the fight to make, Jamal and GGG.
Yeah. I'd have to agree with that. Let me just mute that there. Okay, what else have we got? Okay, we've got Roger Lee says, Rick, do you think Jaron Ennis will be on the level of a Terence Crawford someday?
Well, he's got two brothers that fought. They don't fight anymore. Neither of them had good chins, so that's not a good family sign. But if the chin checks out all right, yeah, he should be up there with the Terence Crawfords in a few years. Like 2 years from now. Yep, I think so. But it's like I said, as long as his chin holds up.
As long as the chin holds up. Okay, yeah, we're going to come to that Bitcoin boxing. We're going to come to that in a bit. What did Rick think of Yoka? He looks like he could be.
I've always been high on Yoka. Got a great jab, long, lean, powerful guy, fast, knows how to fight. Good ring for a guy that hasn't had that many pro fights. He's pretty polished. Pretty good fighter. I got no problem. Right now, I would give him and Povetkin and be a great fight.
Yes. So yeah, welcoming in Bitcoin Boxing and Ruben Guerrero, Robin Lee, Roger Lee, and Mala and the Outlaw. And we got one from Earn with Hearn. How do you do Earn with Hearn? Okay. So, hi Rick, can you explain when a promoter signs a top fighter? Does the fighter get a stipend until a fight purse is made? Who covers training expenses? Can you explain the process? Thank you. Earn with Hearn.
This is like an hour question. It depends on what level the fighter's at. If he's like a 4-round kid who was Olympian or a big amateur career, he might get a stipend from a manager, not a promoter. But he might get an advance from a promoter. If he's a 10-round fighter, he gets training, or a 12-round fighter, if 12-round fighter, he'll definitely get training expenses. So it depends on the scenario. It depends what your contract says. It depends what you negotiated in your contract. There's so many variables to it. You know, what weight class, everything. There's so many things that are variable to it. So in other words, if you got a middleweight or like let's say a welterweight, there's a lot of welterweights around. So nobody's going to give training expenses when there's a welterweight in the next town. But if you're a heavyweight, there's no heavyweights in your area. Hey, we need to bring some heavyweights in here to spar. So then all of a sudden there's training expense money. So it depends on where you are geographically. It depends on what weight class. It just has so many. This whole question has so many factors to it that's why you have people like me that negotiate deals for a living, because no two deals are alike.
Yes. And we got a couple of compliments. I think the cat is out of the bag. Why don't you go ahead and tell the people the good news, Rick, the special announcement?
Well, Eddie Hearn's longtime matchmaker, not Eddie Hearn, I'm sorry, Frank Warren's longtime matchmaker, Jason McClory, left 2 weeks ago. Him and Frank had a parting of the ways, and Frank has decided to do his matchmaking by committee. He's got 3 guys in house on the premises. One guy used to work for Eddie Hearn, Neil Bowers, a guy named Earl Johnson, and a guy named Steve Fornes, and they're going to be the in-house domestic matchmakers. So they're going to handle all the fights in the UK that are both fighters are from the UK. Yours truly, Rick Glazer, is going to be Frank Warren's international representative, and I will be in charge of all international affairs association with Frank Warren and his corporate entity called Queensberry Promotions. And I will be representing them around the world in all boxing transactions, including signing of fighters, including making fights, including supplying sparring partners, helping develop their talent the young talent they do have, trying to figure out who's going to win fights at the upper level and whether the fight's worth the risk. Risk and reward management, as I call it. Anything to do with boxing, and I'm going to be Frank's new go-to guy. Basically, it's being his international representative. The guys that are presently there are going to do the domestic in-house fights, like the UK fighters versus other UK fighters. But if a UK fighter fights a guy that's not from the UK, then I'm involved in that particular transaction. But I'm going to be signing fighters for them. Going to purse bids, going to conventions, almost anything to do with boxing. It's international for Frank Warren and his company, Queensberry Promotions. So that's the story.
Excellent. Yeah, I think I can speak for. Hold on, let me just mute that there. I think I can speak for pretty much most, if not all, of the Combat Radio Nation, the Combat Radio Nation, in congratulating you on the position, on the signing. I think it's a perfect appointment. Yeah, I think they got the man. They got the man for the job. And a round of applause for Rick Glazer. Round of applause for Rick Glazer. Yes, yes, yes.
It was Frank made it. Frank was very good about it, and he said that I'm going to bring Neil Bowers on, and we're going to have this matchmaking committee, and I want you to head up the international portion of it, be my international representative. And it was almost like a merger. I'm still going to have my core business. I'm still going to have my core business, but I'm going to do Frank's business too. But it's time wise, it's good for me. I'll explain why. So if the UK is 4 o'clock in the morning my time, East Coast time, and 9 o'clock over there, I don't have much business at 4 o'clock in the morning. I got a little business over in Europe, a little business in Australia, but not a lot. Not a lot at that hour. But now with 4 o'clock to let's say 9 o'clock my time here, I got 5 hours to play with there.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that will be that Monday through Friday will be all donated towards contributed towards Frank Warren and his boxing business interests. So I was the guy. It was a funny thing. He told me, he kept hearing my name, and everybody said I was top, honest, great boxing guy, loyal, and all good things. And he called up a friend of mine that's a friend of his, and he said, "Tell me about Rick Glazer." He says, "Well, what other people tell me? He's a top guy, a top man." He goes, "He's honest, hardworking, knows the business and sport of boxing, and you get the straight truth and truthful answers out of him." And the guy said, he says, "The guys, whoever told you this is telling you right." He goes, and he said, "Did he tell you how fast Rick can think?" He says, "No." He says, "You'll find out how fast Rick can think." So it's all good, a lot of people are congratulating me. Sort of started last night, the congratulations. Today, hit it on Facebook today. Almost 700 replies already.
Damn.
Congratulations and likes this and all that, and it's starting to get out there. And listen, I'm proud of what I am. I'm proud of what I do. I think I'm the best at what I do. And there might be somebody better in a certain category. There might be somebody else that's in another category that's better. But overall, the blend of boxing, the sport of boxing, the science of boxing, and the business of boxing, I can compete with the best of them. And I'm proud of that fact. Ralph, you wouldn't have me on your show every week if I was a putz, would you?
I tell you what, Rick, I was just thinking about it earlier, and I thought, well, how did this come about? Why did I want Rick? Why did I want Rick on the show?
You knew back in March that Frank Warren was going to hire me at the end of September. You knew it, Ralph. Ralph, I'm bringing you to the horse races. You got the winners picked. I'm telling you got the winners picked.
Hey, just tell me when I need to wear my shirt and tie, and just tell me. Send a limo, Rick. Send a limo. I'll be ready.
But Frank and I had a talk, and he realized that what I was saying is what he liked. I said I'm an old school boxing guy like you, Frank, but with modern nuances. The internet, the podcast, the Twitter, the Facebook. I'm in business. I'm in business. And I have a great international calling plan, and it allows me to talk 83 hours a month overseas.
Damn.
And that's I'm in business. I do this 24/7, and to me, there's nothing funny about a guy unless a guy gets knocked out with a body shot and starts rolling around all over the place.
Yeah.
But this is a serious business. I take it seriously. I work 24. I take phone calls 24/7. I told Frank something. He was cracking up.
Yeah.
I said, "Frank," I said, "you can call me 24/7. You'll never hear me ever say, 'Why are you calling me at this hour?'" He says, "Never? You'll never say that?" I says, "Nope. You call anytime you want. Do me a favor. Just stick to business." He said in the middle of the night. He says, "Fair enough." and he loved it. He just said, very unusual, and he just liked everything he heard about me. There was nothing he didn't like, and it's a meeting of the minds, is what it is.
Yeah.
A deal is a meeting of the minds, and we both have great boxing minds, and bringing our talents together. He's a great promoter, and I'm fantastic at what I do. And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that's what reality is. There's always truth in quantity. Everybody can't be wrong, right, Raf?
100%, 100%. And I remember the reason. I wanted Rick on here because Rick he just shoots from the hip. Rick just shoots from the hip. He just gives it to you straight like an arrow. And so that's the reason I wanted him on. And so, yes, once again, congratulations goes out to Rick Glazer. He's the inside man now over there, working with the new team over there at Queensbury Promotions. So you know where you're gonna get the scoops. You know where you're gonna get the scoops right over here at Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. Ask Rick. Okay, so with that.
Listen, all your wonderful followers, subscribers, and everything, instead of putting in $5, will you put 10 in now that they realize I'm really a boxing insider? But before maybe their doubts.
Hey, $1, a euro, a yen, a pound is all good over here. Every mickle makes a muckle. Rick's just pulling your leg. Okay, so let us proceed on. Congratulations, Rick, on the big move. I have a question, but I would like to ask him live, if you don't mind.
Fire away.
Fire away. What do you mean? What do you mean fire away?
Fire away. Have me ask the question.
Ask the question. What, in the chat or live?
Whatever you want to do. You're the boss. I'm only the lackey here.
Yeah, just write down your question. Write down your question, Troy. Write down your question, and we'll ask it straight away as soon as we see it. Okay. So where are we? Does Rick? What does he say? Does Rick think we're now less likely to see Charlo Andrade following last weekend?
I never thought we were going to see him to start with. So why now? What's his name? Al Heyman doesn't do fights like that, where there's a risk in the fight. If he ends up with Andrade, he ends up with a guy he can't sell, who's not saleable. His style, his personality is not saleable. He's got something that's saleable in Charlo, but not saleable enough to make any money. So he's not going to go to a fighter that's not saleable where he's going to lose more money. He'll try to improve his position by getting a guy that can be more popular than Charlo.
Yes. We're scrolling down. What we got here? Never forget Charlo outright ducked Demetrius Andrade. Well, there's two sides to that story, isn't there? There's two sides to that story.
Yeah, there's three. Each side, and then there's the truth.
Yeah. Yes. And also, what was it? Who was supposed to have? Was it the Big Charlo Jamal, who was supposed to have declined an offer to fight Canelo? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. With Hearn says, I think it will be Charlo versus Eubank Jr. coming. Who do you like in the fight? And who do you think Roy Jones Jr. training Eubank will be a factor?
I like Charlo. I don't think that Roy's will make that much of a difference, maybe 5%, but not enough to win. Charlo's a good fighter. Eubank's still Eubank, not much. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's not an exciting. There's nothing exciting about that fight. It's not like they're beating the doors down for that particular fight.
Okay.
So I just don't see it.
Okay. So, is there any other fights from the weekend that I want to talk about that I forgot? No, I think we've done all of the weekend's fights. Okay. Let me go into some of my questions now. Okay, so Devin Haney, Yorkis Gamboa announcement is imminent for November
It's just too embarrassing.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah.
I
Yes.
didn't. It's why is my answer. Why?
Why is the question? Why is
Yeah.
the question?
Who'd want to see that?
Who should Devin Haney be fighting, Rick? Who should Devin Haney be fighting right about now?
Devin Haney should be fighting guys that are other young bucks that are capable. I'm not saying he should be fighting to Teofimo. I'm not saying he should be fighting Ryan Garcia, but give us something that's saleable. I mean, it's not saleable. I mean, the guy shouldn't be fighting. I mean, it's embarrassing. I mean, why would Eddie pay a guy $1 million to fight that hobo?
Yeah, it's madness. It's madness. What's going on here? What's going on here? What's going on here? Daniel Jacobs, Gabe Rosaro reach an agreement to fight November 27th.
Another fight. There's no public domain for another Eddie Hearn special. A real faded guy in Rosado. And a champion in Danny Jacobs that was an ex-champ world champion, two-time world champ. Okay, good. But who asked for this fight? Name me two people that asked for Devin Haney versus Gamboa and Jacobs versus Gabe Rosado. Who asked for this fight?
Okay, so let me just mute that mic there. Okay, so where are we? Jose Zapida. I want to. No. That's a non-topic there. Okay, so Texera. If the WBO authorize it, I'll be happy to end Charlo's career and then fight Castano.
He's not beating Charlo, or the 154-pound Charlo. And I don't know if Teixeira can beat Castano. I think it's a good fight, but I don't know who wins. It's I don't know. I'm not a big believer in Patrick, even though I like him as a person. His manager's a personal friend of mine.
Yeah,
but it's just nothing exciting.
Okay, so we got here. What's the next thing here? Anthony Joshua says Fury went pro in 2008. I never thought I would catch up to him. I think Joshua is alluding there to well, he said it, isn't he? He said it.
Listen, when they fight, Joshua won't be catching up with him when they fight, because he'll be a step ahead of him all night long, pumping that Fury, pumping that triple jab out there. Boom, boom, boom.
I like Rick. Rick is a staunch Furyite. You know what I'm saying? He's probably wearing some.
I'm just a brilliant, a real ringmaster. Look what he did in the second fight. Look at the adjustments he made, and the bozo Wilder didn't make any adjustments. And look what happened. It went from a one-sided fight that went to a decision and was called a draw, wrongly called a draw. And the second fight was a complete beatdown and stopped him. He made all the adjustments. What did Wilder do? Wilder didn't do a thing. He was the same Wilder. He just looked a lot dumber.
OMG. Okay, so let's move along. As a matter of fact, let's get back into the chat. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Let's see if we've got any questions for Rick. Congratulations, Rick. Where are we? We missed you. Yes, we missed you, Rick. Red Glove Militant up in the area.
Red Glove, yeah. Last week I was 16 miles from home last week, my wife and I, and you had to do the show. We stopped at this restaurant, and then we realized in the restaurant that the thing wasn't working, the signal. And then we went out to the car, drove away from the restaurant, and the thing still wasn't working, the signal. So it was just a bad area. It wasn't the restaurant itself. So
yeah.
And then we came, today's a new week and we're here and we're ready to go. But listen, I apologize to everybody and I'm going to do it again. Sorry about last week. If you're looking for, ask Rick, it was no Rick last week. And Ralph and I thought I was going to be able to do it. And I told Ralph, but it'd be only an hour and a half and we didn't even get 5 minutes in. So what are you going to do? Shit happens,
It's one of them things. It's one of them things. It's one of them things. Okay, but Rick's here today. What's this here? It's a political question. That's why I wanted to ask him face to face.
You can ask me right here.
Ask him in the chat. Ask him in the chat. I think that's what he's saying. Yeah, but I've got a political question for you as well, Rick. Who won? I don't know. I didn't watch it. The political thing.
My answer: who won? Okay. Yeah. If you went into the debate last night, okay, were you going to vote for Trump? You thought he won. If you were going to vote for Biden, anyways, you thought he won. If you're not sure, you're still not sure. They're going to wait for the other debates. So it was a big nothing as far as I'm concerned. Trump is what he is. He's established that fact. He's obnoxious. He's rude. He's barbaric at times, but he's doing a good job as president. It's just a rough road to get there. So,
OMG. Okay, so one of mine. Ivan Branachik. To be the best at 140. That is my motivation.
Well, a fighter, it's a funny thing about a fighter. A fighter shouldn't have to need motivation. It should be natural inside you. It's not your girlfriend's there, your wife's there, your mistress is there, the pom-pom girls are there. It's not about the money. You got to want to do this. You got to have that attitude that I'm walking through walls, and they're shooting flames at me, they're shooting guns at me, but I'm walking through those walls. The motivation is financial security and success for your family. What can you say? Or I'm sorry, success for yourself and financial security for your family. I'm sorry, I said it wrong. But the point is, that's the motivation. What do you have to motivate? Pom-pom girls and the people there cheering for you. That's all bullshit. These are supposed to be professionals. These aren't 14-year-olds. Oh my God, Dad, look at this. They're cheering for me. Come on now.
OMG. So Cesare says, I'll knock Canelo's freckles right off his face. And Reynoso is trying to pick them all up again.
It's ridiculous. Like that.
It's ridiculous. I need a soundbite. When I get my soundboard, I need a soundbite of that. It's ridiculous. Okay, so where are we? Oh, damn, this is a big one. Do we go into the big ones now? Okay, let's start with the big ones and mix them in with some little ones. Okay, so Canelo Alvarez refiles breach of contract.
He did not refile.
Thank you. Now pause. Everybody stop. Everybody, not another word, Rick. Just a second. Everybody stop. In fact, I'm even going to stop the music. For this one. Okay, so I went live last night with the title of the piece being that Canelo fails to refile, because that was the information I had. At the very end of the show, someone posted up something by Dan Raphael saying that he has re-signed. Rick Glazer, please.
He did not refile. Here's where the confusion lies.
All right.
He was asked by the judge in federal court to amend the contract and refile it by September 28th, which he failed to do. He went to another court, the state Supreme Court, in the state of California, in LA County, and filed an all-new lawsuit there with the same stuff in it, most of the same stuff in it, but in a completely different court. That's a whole new filing. he never refiled the original lawsuit because to refile, you have to do it in the same court and in the system. So, in other words, in federal court, he's in state court now. It's a whole new lawsuit. So the fact that you said that he didn't refile, you are correct, and Fat Man Dan Raphael is wrong because they didn't refile. It's a whole new lawsuit.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So everybody who said, Rafi, you're wrong, you can shove it up your hooter, wherever your hooter may happen to be located. Okay, we can bring the music back now. Thank you. Canelo, Freckleface, did not refile. Started a whole new thing in a new court. Thank you.
Yeah, different court. The reason why I feel the reason why he didn't want to go back to that court because the judge realized that those lawyers that he had were amateur hour, and once that happens in federal court, a judge looks down at you, and you don't get any close decisions and any thoughts and stuff. You get blown out. So that's why they took it to a different court.
Boom, boom, boom. You know, it's just common sense. I said it a few weeks ago. I said, hold on a second. I said, hold on a second. How are these lawyers going to look now? You know, they can't even get the basic facts of the case correct in the first move, the first step. And, look, it's come to pass. He's taking it somewhere else. He's gone somewhere else because it just didn't look good. Okay, that was one of mine. So there was some talk, was there not? There was some talk that the Zone Golden Boy, they were trying to come to some restructure, trying to restructure the deal, bring Canelo down to something like 20 mil per fight. There was some talk about it. I don't know. I don't know it to be a fact. There was some talk about that. Have you heard anything about that, Rick?
You know, bits and pieces. That's all. Nothing to talk about. And I hate to, unless something's really true, I hate to talk about it in the sense that an if calm might happen, and then I look like a donkey when it doesn't, when I never said it was gonna, but then somebody misconstrued something that I said that I didn't really say, that they thought I said, you know what I mean? And what do? Tell them to check their hearing? So,
yeah, I hear you. Okay, so Casimero wants Inoue, but now has other options, says his promoter Gibbons. So Casimero wants Inoue.
Yeah, I think that'll eventually happen. I mean, it's a natural fight. Two Asians, Las Vegas, a lot of gamblers, But it's just what the facts are. It's going to happen. It's not going to happen right away because I knew he's going to fight Maloney next. But on October 31st in Vegas, so who knows what's going to happen in January or February? Maybe Newey comes back in February and Casimero fights him. But it's a natural fight. It's got to happen.
Yeah. Okay, so remember, folks, we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. So get your questions in, because when the questions are out, the thing's over. So get them in now. Don't keep them till the end. Okay, so what made this come to my mind? Chavez Jr. What the hell? Talk to me, Rick.
He's not a fighter. He's not a fighter. He's just he's masquerading as a fighter. What can I say? I mean, he was champ a few, back 8 years ago for a short period of time, 7 years ago, and the game is over. It's played out. He quits like a dog. He quit again, and history always has a tendency to repeat itself. And he quit once, he quit again, and the game is over. Nobody wants to watch that shit.
I hear you. I heard some whispers that the Chavez household they could do with the Monet. I find it difficult to believe with the long and storied career of Chavez Sr. I don't know if it's true. Do they need the money? Why is he messing around? What's going on?
The kid makes some millions of dollars a fight. He would have got $6 million to fight Danny Jacobs, and he screwed up on the weight. And they fined him. He had to pay the other fighter, Danny Jacobs, $1 million. He got $5 million for that fight. Why is he fighting? It's obvious, but who wants to promote him anymore? He's just a dog. He just quits. Nobody wants to see that shit. Garbage.
No, it ain't very impressive. It ain't good for the Chavez name. Let's go back into the chat. Get your questions in, folks. Write them down there in the chat, and we will read them out for you. Okay, so CCR2971 asks, how can Dana White enter boxing if the fights don't get made easily in boxing? I doubt he would stay long.
Well, Dana White's name is spelled White. He's got that confused with Dillian White. So we got Whites all over the place, but they're spelled differently. So anyways, here's the deal. Dana White's not going to enter boxing. He's got his hands full with UFC, and there's no TV time for him right now. I mean, could he be enter boxing in 5, 6, 7 years from now? Yeah, the possibility. But he's not going to enter boxing for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. Okay. So that's that. Troy Graham has a question. My question for Rick. Outside of Wilder, who has Fury looked that good against?
Well, he gets up for fights. So it's tough to say, but he looked really good against Klitschko. You know, when he played with him the first time. You know, when they the one time that they fought. So he played with Klitschko and took the title from him. So I would say that's the other time. But don't forget, he didn't have the confidence in himself then, so he wasn't stepping in with the right hand and stuff like that, like he did this time with back in February 22nd with Wilder. So he's got the confidence now. He's got everything rolling, and he'll stop him even quicker this time.
Yes. Stop me even quicker this time. Yes, I would have to agree. Rick, what does Wilder do? What does Wilder do to win the trilogy fight?
I don't know if he can do anything to win the fight, to be honest with you. I just don't see it. I have no confidence in I didn't have any confidence in Deontay Wilder against Fury when he was undefeated and nobody had exposed him yet. So I think maybe I'm the wrong guy to ask. I was never a believer in Wilder.
Never a Wildette. Rick was never a Wildette. Okay. I thought Rick was going to fall asleep on us there. I was a bit worried, but he's okay. He's with us.
No, I'm fine. I'm just resting my brain. It was moving at a real high rate of speed. I needed to slow it down for a minute.
Okay, Rick.
Prudent man. My man Prudent.
The prudent man. The prudential man. The prudent man. I don't know if he's with insurance, but anyway. Rick, are you involved in organizing any of these fights between the long retired fighters coming back into the ring?
No, nor will I.
Why?
No. They shouldn't be fighting, and I'm against it.
On safety reasons, health reasons?
Everything. They shouldn't be in a boxing ring.
Right. Yeah, I hear you. What does this say? Chavez was pimping and milking his father's name. Job well done.
Yeah. I'll buy it.
Yeah, he was in the gym the next day. Looking, Dana White is a hypocrite. Boxing doesn't need him or want him.
Well, that's true. I got to tell you that. He's right about that, Troy. But I just don't see him entering boxing. He's had 4 years to enter boxing, 3.5 years or something like that. He's entered boxing. All of a sudden, he's going to enter boxing. He's been threatening to do so. It's gone nowhere.
Troy Graham says, no, Rick, Fury versus Klitschko was trash. Pure, ugly trash.
Okay. I like the boxer in the fight. The boxer won. So what can I say?
Wilder retires after this fight and becomes a twerking Twerking gun instructor. Twerking gun instructor.
Boy.
Marlon says, Troy, it may have been ugly, but Fury won easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move along. Where are we? Where Jose Pedraza, ring return targeted for the first quarter of 2021.
He just fought. Yeah, it's a time.
Yeah.
That's a good time. It's a good time frame for him. He just fought like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, just fought 2 weeks ago. It was a good showing. I was impressed. I was impressed.
He's outsmarting these guys. Good on his feet. He's nimble. Got fast hands. He's got brains. He's just outsmarting these guys.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. This is a funny one. Murat Gassiev versus Kevin Johnson in play for October 31st in Sochi. Kevin Johnson still knocking around.
Yeah. I mean, he's just had a nice win. I don't know. You know, I don't know there's any public demand for that fight. But of course, Eddie Hearn's involved. That's why they're doing the fight. It's no public demand.
Okay, so Broner says, I don't need Devin Haney. What do I get out of knocking him out? Broner.
Who's Broner?
Broner.
Oh, Broner. Please. It's the stupidest statement ever. Come on, please.
It's madness. Okay, moving along. Zapida says, I deserve another title shot. A win over Branachik will cement that.
Well, he's right about that. If he beats Branachik, he should get another world title shot. There's no quite will. Not sure he will. But that's an uphill battle. Branachik's a good fighter. Evan Branachik's a very good fighter. So it's a complete uphill battle.
Yeah, 100%. Where are we here? Marco Kalik vows to prove himself and shock Joshua Buatsi.
Pulev, yeah. I mean, Pulev can punch, and Joshua is chinny, so it could happen. Wouldn't shock me.
No, I said Marco Kalik vows to prove himself and shock Buatsi. Sorry.
Oh, Buatsi. Oh,
yeah.
I thought you said Joshua. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. I don't think so. Well, Buatsi's a good fighter. That light heavyweight's a good fighter. I don't see that happening. I don't see him beat them. Put it that way to you.
Okay. So where are we? Okay. So let's go over to the chat. See what's going on in the chat. See if there are any questions for Rick. Where are we? What do you say? Wilder should duck the trilogy to prolong his career, fight a few warm-ups, and then the career end with Fury.
If times were normal, he should be doing that, but he did it before. He decided to do it even before COVID. So I would say it's a bad decision, but right now, get as much money as you can, bail out, because that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen to him. There's no way he beats Fury. There's no way he beats Fury. No way. He can't even get lucky. He's going to have the appreciated skills and the appreciated speed. And he's not even going to get lucky.
Okay. So, where are we here? Uh-oh. Yeah. A 47-year-old Danny Williams needs to retire now. He was knocked around the ring by a 40-year-old Russian making his debut a few weeks ago. It's a young man's sports. Yeah.
Philip Carl Roberts said it best. I said these older guys shouldn't be fighting. Terrible.
Yeah,
Commissions allow that. That's the scary part. Terrible.
That's what I was going to say, because apparently a GoFundMe page has been set up by I forgot who set it up. Yeah, for Danny Williams trying to raise some money just to get him out of the sport permanently because he keeps on retiring and coming back. Because he beat Mike Tyson, he's the guy he can be billed across the world as a guy who beat Tyson, and he just keeps on coming back and keeps on getting battered. 47 years of age, it's not good at all. I mean, it's the commissions. You have to say the commissions are there to protect the fighters, and then keep on granting Danny Williams new licenses. The commission are failing in their duty to protect the fighters. Rick Glazer, what say you?
I mean, they failed Danny Williams a long time ago. They should never license him to fight, and it's embarrassing. I mean, I know these guys just don't want to go away, or they're broke. There's always some story. I just don't want anything to do with this old man's boxing, the senior tour by these guys.
Yeah. Yes. And what we got here? We got a question from Troy Graham. Okay, Rick, I have a political question for you. You stated on your page Trump paying $750 in taxes is him knowing how to play the game. So every citizen should do the same. Is that right?
Absolutely. 100%. If you can afford a great tax attorney, okay, to know all the loopholes and stuff, absolutely. The problem is most people are not self-employed. Most people are employed, and their employer takes their taxes out, so they can't do what Trump did. You own your own business. That's one of the benefits of owning your own business, and you're wealthy. You can hire tax attorneys to know all the loopholes and all the angles. So absolutely, Troy.
Okay, it's an interesting question. So it seems like a lot of these super rich, they barely pay any taxes, Rick.
Right. Trump's not the only one. Most of them are like that. I mean, I know a guy that made millions in 1 year, and he showed a $500,000 loss on his tax thing, and it was legitimate. He's got two crackerjack tax attorneys. The IRS investigated it, looked at it, audited it, felt it. He didn't do anything wrong. It's part of being rich.
It's one of the perks. One of the perks of being rich. You get to hire some very skilled. Shall we say skilled? Some very skilled people.
Knowledgeable. They're very knowledgeable. And they know their business. It's no different from me in boxing. I know my business. So, and I got no problem with it at all.
No problem with it at all. Okay. Nope. So, where are we? Then you should step down. Audley Harrison done a number on Danny, did he? I can't even remember that fight.
I'm trying not to remember. I don't remember. I'm trying to have that come back in my mind.
Okay, so Troy's on heat tonight. He's on heat tonight. Okay, Rick, why would the commission keep sanctioning Danny Williams fights?
There's no rhyme or reason why anybody would do that. It's ridiculous. The question is great. There's no legitimate answer. Moronic.
It's moronic. Moronic. We've got the fight doctor up in the building. Get your question in, folks. Fighters get robbed by their promoter. Promoters like Arum and King.
That's not true at all. Stupid statement.
Well, no, hold on. I mean, to be fair, I mean, King was quite.
Listen. Yeah. King promoted over 5,000 fighters in his career. Okay. 3 fighters said that they were robbed. 3. Look at the odds. You see what I'm saying? I mean, come on. Robs fighters? I don't buy it.
Okay. So let me just look at my list. I know I've got one on my mind, one big one on my mind, but I just want to see, make sure I haven't missed anything. But I'm going to check. Damn. Okay, it's a good thing I looked through my list. Get your questions in, folks, because we're coming close to the end of the show. I like to keep it nice and tight. Okay, so Mikey Garcia said, "Oh, how do I put? No. Let's do it the other way around. Let's do this the other way around. Okay, so it looks like Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor is more than just a dream. That's how it's looking right now. Rick Glazer, what say you?
You think it's more than a dream. I call it a nightmare. I mean, Conor McGregor is 0-1 as a professional boxer, and Manny Pacquiao fighting him. You think Manny Pacquiao should be embarrassed? No, they don't get embarrassed. So, what can I say?
So let me just take care of your mic. So we got a little bit of feedback. So yeah, let's get to the bottom of this. So let's get to the bottom of this. What the hell? I mean, obviously it's about the money. But I thought it was just some talk, but it looks like it's real. It looks like it's very real. Rick Glazer, it looks like it's going down.
They got to have crowds to pay for that shit. So you're going to have to have a big crowd somewhere. So if there's no corona and it comes back, you can have crowds, and it's something they got to fight.
I heard them talking about overseas in Saudi, around by Saudi.
They're gonna need fans there too. It doesn't matter where it is. You need fans.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't see it happening within the next. You don't see it happening within the next 3 months, then, Rick Glazer. You don't see that happening within the next 3 months.
No way.
No way, no how. Okay.
None.
No way, no how. Well, I think that we got some footage. We're coming close to the end of the show, folks, tonight, to keep it nice and tight over here. But we do have some footage, and I think of Conor McGregor doing some cold weather outdoor training, and I think Manny Pacquiao should be very afraid. Check it out. Rick, this is the latest training footage from Conor.
I don't know what the hell that is, but whatever.
Yeah, that's
not Conor McGregor. Get out. You tried to catch me sleeping, literally, on that
one. Okay. Some people are disputing whether it's Conor McGregor or not, but I have it on good authority. Okay, let's get out of that. That's too funny. Where are we now? So that lends credence to the notion that to what Mikey Garcia is saying. Mikey Garcia, we're coming close to the end of the show, folks. Mikey Garcia is saying that he's next. He's going to fight Conor next. And it kind of makes sense now. If Conor...
You know what? Eddie Hearn's leading everybody down the same path. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Don't know.
Who knows? Rafi's taking the piss. Who? Me? Rafi taking the pee-pee? Hell no. Come on. That's legit. It comes from a legitimate source. Okay. What else did I want to ask you? Let me see. Have I come to the end of the list? Let me have a look. Let me make sure. Oh, no, of course not. Oh, my God. I leave certain amount of things to memory, and this was the memory one. Okay, I thought I can't forget this and almost did. Okay, so let me share this. Let me share this with you. This is the last thing, unless we get any more questions from the crowd. I like to keep it nice and tight over here. And let me share this with you. Let me share it with everybody. Okay, we're coming up close to the end. Stop sharing that. Start sharing this. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, let me see if I can see what you can see. Yes. Okay, so Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder 3, moving off December 19. New date being sought. What the hell is going on, Rick? Make it make sense to us. Make it make sense.
They got too many. They got on December 19th. They got 5 championship games. It's too much, too many things going on, and you're not going to draw pay-per-view with free football against free football. So Aaron's moving the date earlier or later, either in January or like a couple weeks before. Maybe earlier in the month or something like that.
When did you say? January or February?
No, yeah, it might be in February. Might be in February. So listen, we got a COVID issue, guys. That's not helping either. If they had a huge game, they wouldn't need all those pay-per-view buys. So yeah, it's a sticky wicket.
It's a sticky wicket. It's a sticky wicket over there. And Bob Arum, coincidentally or not coincidentally, Bob Arum was saying earlier on, or a month or two ago, that he wanted to move the fight to February. And you remember Frank?
It's very possible. They fought last year, February 22nd.
Yeah.
And no reason why they shouldn't fight this year, February 22nd. Or sometime in February.
Sometime in February. I think that's the most likely outcome. They're desperately.
Yeah, don't forget the other issue is Fury's still trying to rest his brain.
Did he rest his brain? Rest his brain from what?
The shots he took the last time on February 22nd.
Rick is you gotta be quick with Rick. Okay, Rick. I'm gonna go in the chat, but as far as I can see, we've chopped and diced everything that we came here to chop and dice. Let me take one last look at my list, make sure I've missed anything, and then I'll go into the chat and make sure I don't miss anything there too. Let me have a look at the names. Branchik Garcia. We've talked about Manny Pacquiao. We've talked about Canelo. We've talked about Josh Taylor. We've talked about your new gig with Queensbury Promotions. We've mentioned everything that is on my list is complete. Okay, let's take last look at the chat to see if I missed anything. Where we at? Why doesn't Mikey, Rick, why doesn't Mikey Garcia fight the winner of Loma versus Tiafimo?
Because he doesn't want to fight at 35 anymore. He's 40 to 47.
Okay. Where are we? Shizby says the two dusters, Wilder and Fury are two dusters. Come on, Shizbiz. Come on. Rick is slick. You need to be quick. Wilder versus Fury should be scrapped. Just scrap it. What's the purpose? There's don't make no sense. Just scrap it. Move along. They tied themselves up. They both tied themselves up into it because they know they're gonna make some money. So hey, we all want to make some money, don't we? Spence Jr. Spence versus Garcia. Thoughts, Rick? Spence versus Garcia. We're coming to the end now.
If Spence isn't 100%, he loses. That's all there is to it. If in that car accident, he's not 100%, he's going to lose.
He's going to lose if he's not 100%. I agree with that. I think this is the last question over here, Rick. I think this might be the last question. Philip Carl Roberts says, is there any news on crowds coming back soon in the U.S., Rick? What's going on with the crowds?
Nothing. There's no news at all in the bubble.
Wasn't there supposed to be some? Wasn't Wilder Fury Wilder 3
they're
supposed to be in the
talking about it, but they still hadn't had approval yet. So we'll see.
Oh, no approval yet. I get you. Okay, folks. I think we've smashed it. I think we've cracked it. I've asked every question that was on my list. You've asked every question that was on your list. 1 year. What? 1 year anniversary of Spence's accident? 1 year? 1 year?
Yeah, early October. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, anybody? So, all the contacts are in the chat. Rick Glazer, congratulations on your new appointment. And yeah, it's the Rick Glazer on the Ask Rick on the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. Rick, say your final goodbyes to the people until next week, Rick.
Goodbye. See you guys next week. Come back with your questions. We'll have more questions after this weekend's action, and more announcements, and who knows what else is going on in the world of boxing. But I will tell you right now that we are going to do this every week. Starting at 4 o'clock Eastern time, 1 o'clock Pacific time, 9 o'clock in UK time, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do it right, and we're going to answer everybody's questions with truth and honesty.
And straight as an arrow. That was the Rick Glazer. Rick Glazer, much appreciation, much appreciation. Same place, same time next week. It's the Rick Glazer. Much appreciate. Thank you very much. I cut Rick off halfway through the thank you. Much appreciation, Rick, as per usual. Where are we? The Gucci Kid is up in the building. What's going on here? Yeah, Spence reportedly only sparred for the first time, what was it, a couple of days ago? Since the accident, recently. He's bound to be rusty. Yeah, his first actual sparring, yeah, it was a couple of days ago. Yes, absolutely. Always appreciate Rick coming over here to chop things up. Where are we? Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Tails, just hit him up. What are we doing? What we saying? Okay, so what can we take away from this? Okay, I was very happy. I was very happy that Rick could come on here. Remember when we were live last night, and there was some talk that now Rafi, now he's re-signed Rafi, he's re-signed. Canelo's re-signed Rafi. Well, hate to break it to you. Hate to break it to those who thought they were breaking it to me. Well, I'm going to have to break it back to you. No, Canelo has not refiled the original case. He has gone, he's amended it and gone to a different court. So that's not resubmitting within the 28 days. He did not resubmit by the 28th, sorry. So this is a whole new case. It's a whole new filing, sorry, in a whole new court. What am I looking for? I know I'm looking for after this. Okay, so Canelo did miss the deadline to refile. He chose to go to another court and start the procedure again. Hopefully his paperwork was in order in that time. And also big news, as we've just discussed with Rick, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. In case you just came in case you just dropped in, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder 3 has been pushed back. Date yet to be determined. So, yeah, it's pretty obvious what's going on over there. They ain't going to be fighting until crowds are back. And they're going to want respectable numbers too. So they're just going to keep on pushing this thing back and back and back. Don't forget, if you enjoy the content, to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and for sure, go ahead and share on all your social media platforms. It's the Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio, it's the Ask Rick. It's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comments, it's the shares. And it is the hitting that bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. What's going on? Go on. I didn't ask you to stop. Go on, Connor. Go on, Connor, mate. That's some very, very weird shiznicks. But anyway, it's Raphael Dawkins, the Combat Radio. It's the Ask Rick. And we are out. blessed. Take it away. What's out with this thing? Come on, let's go.